Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. It's cinderous here today outside with the fires. So I'm just at home and watching the Shahs of Sunset.
At a birthday dinner, when the cheater admitted to the cheating, is news to me.
Coming up, do you believe the Reza told Mike I'm the one doing the tests?
No, I don't.
I've got some snacks, some candy bars and stuff that I can eat, some granola bars, and some soda.
Keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially, including the COVID-19 virus. Once dry, Microban forms a shield that keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. Microban 24. Touch after touch, it doesn't give up.
Be right back.
Fun and summit with WeatherTech. From laser measured floor liners, seat protectors, cargo liner, and more. Order your American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
Little Caesars now has the pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust with a cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust. It's got 9 feet of pepperoni.
That's enough, Darren.
Sorry.
We're big pizza. We're Little Caesars. The new pepperoni stuffed crust, just $10. Pizza.
Turn your dish dodgers into helping hands, or your toothpaste tyrant into a responsible rinser. See what change can do. See what Delta can do.
I'm Stephen, I'm 52, and I'm a makeup artist. I met my husband in 2002. I miss those eyes.
Do you think you could fall in love again?
I'm so ready, you know?
So, what do you see when you look at yourself?
I see a really long life lived of vast experiences.
Botox Cosmetic is FDA approved to temporarily make frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better. The effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Do not receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow, eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Tell your doctor about your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
$1 million listing Los Angeles is back.
I'm not taking a penny under 15 million.
When the market's on fire, it's easy to burn some bridges.
You don't know how to shut your mouth.
It's just like a lot of steak.
Bring it. $1 million listing Los Angeles premieres September 2nd, only on Bravo. And stream past seasons on Peacock.
First, I still have to eat. This one I went in my bag and kind of got crunched a little bit. Then I got some Nerds, two boxes of Nerds, and an open box of Runts. So sometimes the candies don't agree with me as much. One thing I would recommend is not having an open container of candy on the desk or a coffee table, because stuff that flows in the air lands on the candy.
So you need to get tested for HIV immediately and at least every 3 months while taking it. If you think you were exposed to HIV and like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. They may check to confirm you are still HIV negative. Serious side effects can occur, including kidney problems and kidney failure. Rare life-threatening side effects include buildup of lactic acid and liver problems. The most common side effect was diarrhea. Tell your doctor about all the medicines and supplements you take, or if if you have kidney or liver problems, including hepatitis. If you have hepatitis B, do not stop taking Discovery without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about your risk of HIV and if Discovery for PrEP is right for you.
Get help paying for Discovery for PrEP. Learn more at stopprep.com.
Whose hard lemonade seltzer is
These
this?
fires
So
are
crisp
going.
and refreshing.
It's fine.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no. You are late for the party.
I tried.
Will do.
Nerds used to be packed in small containers, small boxes with one side strawberry and like the other side grape. And you'd slide back an opening and you'd have strawberry or grape or, something like that, right? Or watermelon and orange or something. Okay? And so there wasn't that many in a regular candy price box, the same price as a Snickers bar or something. But it was enough because they were small and, very sugary. But these new ones come in a big box, right? I mean, there's a lot in here compared to what they used to pack. And they're all mixed as the same. It's just rainbow, right? But the original boxes was about that big, and it was split in the middle. And then on the left and the right side, you could slide back the paper opening and have some. And it was like a cool little snack candy. And so the new ones, what I do is, so instead of getting the box dirty or getting my fingers in the container, I put them in another container, much less. But somehow when I moved, I had 2 or 3 containers that had a little bit in them. Because if I keep putting my fingers in them, right, or I keep using the box, all the candy gets handled basically. So somehow this container got to be way too much. And at this point, I'll probably still have some, but my daughter had some when she was here, and it's just this is too many to have in a container because you won't be able to finish this. I mean, at least I don't think. I mean, maybe when I was a kid I ate more Nerds, but I mean, that's a lot of Nerds. It weighs a lot. And that's why it came in a smaller box. Because it, 5 ounces, I don't know what the original Nerd box was, but it was probably,
Exes really think about you. Any issues with this technique? It's like sharp. Oh, exes. Rated our signal from 1 to 10. Why'd you give her a 1?
She needs some help.
Our relationship expert is here to help. Is there anyone that you might like to give another shot to?
Pringles Original Barbecue Pizza. It's a barbecue pizza stack.
Where is everyone?
Pringles, endless flavors to stack.
At Pure Leaf, the most important ingredient in making tea is saying no. In our real brewed iced tea, we say no to artificial flavors and sweeteners, which means no settling, unless it's into a comfy chair. Pure Leaf, no is beautiful.
I just heard something amazing. Now, for the first time,
does not look like Khloe Kardashian.
approved to treat and prevent migraine.
I do not recognize her.
Is the first and only option proven to treat and prevent migraines with one medication. Wonderful. One quick dissolve tablet can start fast and last. Don't take if allergic to Nurtec. The most common side effects were nausea, stomach pain, and indigestion.
With Nurtec ODT, I treat migraine my way. What's your way? Ask your doctor about Nurtec to find out.
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network by Root Metrics. And our customers rated us #1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power. #1 in reliability, 16 times in a row. Most awarded for network quality, 27 times in a row. Proving once again that nobody builds networks like Verizon. That's why we're building 5G right. That's why there's only one best network.
Right now at Macy's, dust yourself off and get back in there. With great deals on jeans and classic tees. Plus get an extra 20% off at Macy's.
We have to be able to repair the enamel on a daily basis. With Pro Enamel Repair Toothpaste, we can help actively repair enamel in its weakened state. Innovative. My go-to toothpaste is going to be Pro Enamel Repair.
At Chewy, we know the only thing that changes when bringing home a new pet is everything. And we're here with everything to help you on that journey. We've got toys, lot today?
Probably like 40 times.
Hands feel dry?
Like sandpaper.
Introducing new Dove hand wash with 5 times moisturizer blend. Removes germs in seconds. Moisturizes for hours. Soft, smooth. New Dove hand wash.
Finding a makeup made just for us.
Age Perfect Foundation by L'Oreal Paris. A super hydrating serum enriched with vitamin B3 in a lightweight formula.
It doesn't settle into your line.
Age Perfect Foundation by L'Oreal Paris.
We are worth it.
You can eat the delicious sandwiches from Jimmy's Jones.
Summer wraps. They're new. This one's chicken Caesar. Got croutons too, boss.
Freaking Jimmy's Jones!
New summer wraps. Get them before they're gone.
So hot.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Tomorrow. Sweaty sleepers aren't too crazy about me. Casper. It's a Casper snow mattress. The new cooling collection from Casper.
Here's what it looks like. It slides out, but it also opens. Oh, there's Gareth Keenan.
So when you heard
The character Gareth Keenan. Oh my gosh, what is this?
I'm sorry to
Wernham Hog News.
the conversation. is-
Written and edited by David Brent. Look at this.
You ever do anything?
Oh my gosh. This is, I wonder if I shouldn't have opened this.
Person who you claim that you love.
Monkey business.
Stupid that I did. And to think that I really
For those of you who remember Pete Gibbons, congrats are in order. His lovely wife Jan is pregnant again. If the baby is anything like its dad, it'll probably be late.
to see
This week's competition is Guess Who the Father Is. Haha, only joking, Pete.
ever again, and I don't ever hurt you ever again.
Babes in the Planet Hollywood, with Holly as a name. Oh my god, they have character bios.
One thing.
Dawn Tinsley,
Cheating.
job title, receptionist.
Really my
Employee notes, engaged to Lee in the warehouse following a romantic Valentine's Day proposal. However, she does not seem to mind the attention Tim pays to her, and Monkey Allen in the warehouse also reportedly fancies her.
have to respect myself. I have too much
Does not seem to enjoy David Brent's sense of humor.
stand for something.
May have problems with confidential information delivering faxes.
Can't even.
Also may have stolen some post-it notes.
Sorry, it won't happen again. I think if the rules were
Harbors aspirations to be a children's illustrator.
something I can never.
Used to be an illustrator with a part-time job as a receptionist, is now a full-time receptionist. Has showed some degree of dissatisfaction with her current job. Might be more interested in working reception at head office, aka Lucy Davis.
Won't happen again.
Okay, let's put this DVD in. Wernham Hog must have been the name of the company. I never even remembered that. Oh, Slang. Here's the group in a color photo. Let's look at Slang. Space Hopper. Space Hopper. Popular toy in the 1970s. An enormous rubber ball upon which a child or daring adult could sit and bounce with strategically placed plastic handles. Also called Super Hoppy Fun Hop. I remember those balls. They had the big handles on them. Swindon. A small, semi-industrial, otherwise unremarkable town too far outside of London to make a commute worthwhile, as Trenton, New Jersey is too.
Yeah. Can you do it again?
Listen, rewind 10 seconds.
Sure.
I never said it.
Okay. There's a Shakespeare one. Rub. The issue at hand or problem. That goes all the way back to Shakespeare. Adapted from Hamlet's first soliloquy. He says, there's the rub.
This one's chicken Caesar.
So they put that there.
Jimmy's Job. New summer wraps.
They have RSC, Royal Shakespeare Company. The prestigious theater company's productions have featured some of the world's leading actors, such as Dame Judi Dench. The other one they said not really. Anne Shelley Long. Not really. She was in Cheers. She was the first... I forgot the name in Cheers. She was either replaced or left the show, and Kirstie Alley took her role. Although technically they may have been different characters. I don't remember. I thought they were the same character, but maybe they were different characters. Okay. What else is there in this?
Introducing the all-new
This is kind of cool.
Jeep Grand Cherokee L.
Lee is the warehouse worker. There's Chris Finch. And all the characters are in here. Donna, who's played by Sally Bratton. And Gareth Keane is played by Mackenzie Crook and Tim Canterbury.
Nothing less than 99.9%
It's played by Martin Freeman. And Ricky Gervais, David Brent. Alright, let's try to watch this. I want to watch the documentary. Let's see what this is. Disc 2, 50 minutes and 180 minutes. Let's turn on the DVD player and switch the input. Let's see. How do I eject the disc? Okay, there we go. And then we're going to change it to the...
I'm open to throwing it all in the trash can.
Okay, The Office. Here we go. All right, this is the second DVD. Oh, almost knocked everything over. All right. Oh, close the tray. Okay. There we go. So I got the Wernham Hog News right there. All right. This may not even be in widescreen. Double DVD. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's turn up this volume. Looks good. All right, what do we got here?
Fine to me. But there's one thing they say which is absolutely bang on. One's television is brilliant.
If one wants the best of British television, one gets BBC America. Contact your local cable or satellite provider or go to BBC.
I'm gonna have this old box of Juju first.
What's BBC?
Should I dial for you, men?
Quite.
If you put 3 beautiful women in a show with 3 sex-crazed men, you'll inevitably end up with...
Naked women, stockings,
sex.
naked lesbian breasts.
That is so unhygienic.
A hot, sexy, totally upfront comedy.
I mean, it's not as if we're being faithful or anything.
Coupling.
Rico, she's leaving the country. She doesn't speak English. I insulted a friend's breasts. And she thinks I collect women's ears in a bucket.
Wow, that sounds terrible.
To heal our spiritual divide. It turned out I was just gagging for a shag.
Coupling, the complete series 1, now available on DVD from BBC Video.
All right.
From Christopher Guest, director of Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman, comes a new comedy about folk music.
I don't like folk music.
Me too.
They spoke for a generation.
I had a hit that you might have heard of, Hurrilegit Lille Gummen, which means how's it hanging, Grandma?
They lived through restless times.
I don't remember much.
They're back for one more show, A Mighty Wind. Look for it on DVD and video.
All right, documentary. Let's do the documentary. Stephen Merchant, he's the co-writer director.
Obviously quite busy.
Hey, alright, Frankie, go on, mate. And then Marcus, you, Dougie, you rep for babies. Alright, mate. Oh, there. Oh, God. You waiting on?
Just 45 minutes.
No, it's got me in. There's a shit. Oh. Adam and the Ants. If we get that
No,
described.
it's not.
Boy
It's
George.
not I Love 981.
No?
No, it's we're talking about The Office.
Brilliant. That's an excellent. I wish it was I Love 1970. Space Office. Swizzlers. What's all that about?
We're talking about The Office.
How I Made the Office. This is good. By Ricky Gervais.
So before we start, why is it called How I Made the Office? Just by Ricky Gervais. Why is it?
It is How I Made the Office.
Yeah, but why isn't it How
Steve-
We Made the Office by Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant? Too long? Just your name short? The thing about Ricky is that he's the most irritating man I've ever met.
I can't deny that he's got a capacity to be irritating.
Why is he irritating? So many reasons.
You know, from things like going like that, for literally no apparent reason. He's like a child who's drunk too much orange squash with tartrazine in and has now gone a bit wild, and you need to calm him down.
He does willfully try to destroy a scene.
He's going to keep doing something until he gets a reaction.
He loves it, don't you?
Like, it's a joy.
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it about you, don't you?
Exactly.
I really,
Don't do it now. Seriously, don't fucking do it now. Because I'll go mental.
He's touchy.
Take 22, take one.
Oh, this isn't funny, she laugh. It's just...
I remember I had to have a single shot on me, just looking really a bit put out maybe and stern, whatever. And Ricky was just...
I'll be sick.
Jeez.
Do you mind? Give that bin, seriously.
That smells like a
God, give me that fucking bin.
That smells like a
That's the
fucking
over
bed.
there. Put it over there as well. And then that should keep it going now until we, you know.
Stop belching, stop farting.
My friend Robin says I've got two moods. One is, and the other is, I can't believe it. I'm going to have someone fired. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's total hypocrite. It's like, you know, anyone else makes a single bit of noise, boom guy drops the boom in shot, I can't believe this. But him kind of clicking, dancing, making noises, that's fine. There was one bit where the people who were, because it was like a real office that we were, an empty real office, there was a real office next door with people working, and they just came to complain about the noise.
That is true.
And it was like, it was supposed to be a set that was desperately quiet, with just a little scene being played out.
Yeah.
And he's there, just singing, screaming, shouting. Like, it's because, like, he's the star, he's allowed to do that, because it's
And
like,
so-
I'm going to be stressed if I don't do it.
And that was terrible. I fired the location manager and I said, why put us next to a grumpy office? No, I've got to jump around like this. No, I said, I've got to squeak and jump around and let off fireworks.
He tends to touch sometimes. Maybe a little bit upsetting. Puts his arm around you, feels with the air, you know, and he says, "Hey, come on, you know, just because you like a bit of a kiss and a cuddle with another man doesn't make you gay," which, you know, I've thought a lot about. I think it does. I think it does.
But the thing about TV is that they literally time is money. And so that, you know, you've got to get everything right first time. You've got to be on the spot because, you know, the clock's ticking.
That's why I'm... Go on.
I was going to say, that's why I imagine you deliberately try to jeopardise every single take we do.
I was going to say that.
He'll do things like just add lines or stupid names to try and surprise the other actors.
You know, I've been seeing Pure Silk for $9.99, so... $9.99 Pure Silk, so... I had to snap it up. Okay. And Wally Burton, 2 for 10 quid, so I went, yes please. And Nobby Burton came round, 2 for 10, I went, yes please, not 4. And you know, Deaf Nobby Burton comes round with a case, 2 for...
Why are you making it hard?
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just say Nobby Burton, who comes round with a case. 2 for 10, I've got 4. A lot of the stuff that ends up in the office comes from me mucking around and annoying people, so that's what I say in my defence. Yeah. It's my art.
But to be fair, I remember that when we were making the pilot, we did a whole sequence where we did all the talking heads that Ricky does, and then we just left the camera rolling, and I would sort of interview him as though I were a real interviewer, and he would just kind of talk as though we were a friend. And I think a couple of ideas and things come out of that. But
but most of the time he would say something and I'd utterly ruin it just by cracking up.
One of the, I suppose, occupational hazards of being a laugh is that they think they can have a laugh, and they can, but not at the expense of me and the company as a whole, without humour involvement. In that sense, I mean, they can't... I'm sorry. Without the humour involvement. By that I mean, I don't mind a laugh during work or instead of work. What I don't enjoy is what I call the anti-laugh, where it's at... I'm sorry. Can I just leave and you just carry on talking? That won't help. It's what is called by me the anti-laugh, and that is anything goes, thanks very much, have a laugh, find the funny side of life in everything, okay, have a laugh at yourself please, have a laugh at me with my blessing because I will with you, but don't make the mistake of the laughter of hate. I first met Stephen, I was working at XFM, which is a local London radio station, and I was the head of speech.
If you've heard him speak, that's ludicrous.
I know.
And the head of speech was like, he had to cover, like, he had to be involved with all the speech output, the news, the competitions. Do you know what I mean? He had to have a perfect grasp of communication.
So I'd blagged the interview and got the job. Well paid, wasn't it?
Very good.
Good. But then, when it launched, I had to do stuff, which was
the problem,
annoying, and I knew nothing about it. So I went to him and said, look, the workload is mental. I need an assistant. And they went, sure, this guy knows what he's doing. And I met Steve, and I basically said, listen, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I do loads of stuff, fiving and stuff. If you do all that, I'll let you get away with murder. And which left me free to do more important stuff.
Like rolling around on your chair in the office?
That was one of them.
Yeah.
Boating on Regent's Park.
Golfing.
Yeah.
But when I joined the BBC and I was sort of training there, I had to do a training day, like where they gave you a camera crew and you had to make a short film. And most people were doing like documentaries and things, but Rick had this kind of character that he used to sort of muck around and improvise in the office when we were there.
It was just a thing called CD Boss, which was more an observation on sort of like a lecherous boss who was sort of smarmy, and I mean, it was David Brent. I don't give crappy jobs. If I give a good job to a good guy, and then after a period of time he comes to me and says, thank you for that job, David, I've done that, I want to move on, I want to better myself, then I can make that dream come true too, aka for you.
We shot it with the office that Ricky used to work at in the University of London, and just used some actor mates of mine.
Air conditioning, computerised, totally.
So you're familiar with SEAL,
It's Star Text, I think, but I mean, it knows what temperature it is, what time of day it is, whether you're working or not. No, you couldn't do it, it's illegal. The reason we shot it like a documentary was time,
Just because
really,
it was
wasn't
quicker, it was just a quicker way. We only had the camera crew for a day, so that was the quickest way to shoot everything. And then, if time's against you and you just point the camera at the character and let them talk, you don't have to change the camera angle or anything. It's really simple, but you get a sense of the character. So.
And I really love the talking heads in the show because we shot like a documentary, we couldn't do things people wouldn't do in front of the camera. They can't shut the door and, you know, take a line of coke, or they can't blur out things they're thinking because this isn't true. But ironically, when they're by themselves and they're just being filmed, they're a little bit more honest. People do let their guard down because it's flattering. When a camera's, you know, pointed at a normal person, they think, this is my chance, this is my platform. I can tell the world all my great philosophies on life. And of course they open their mouth and they blow it and they can't take it back. Like now.
Exactly.
People, they could come to me, they'd go, David, sorry to bother you, you've been in the business 15 years, can you give me a couple of words of advice? But they don't. It's the tragedy. There was points in it that were almost toward the surreal that we decided that we have because we really just wanted a normal person. And there's just little bits and pieces that wouldn't sit well.
I think there's a bit where you put some lipstick on. Right, so that was, I think, the first time Ricky had done any acting kind of properly, and it was, that once that got made and that little demo tape existed, it got passed around, and that's how he got onto 11 O'Clock Show and things like that. And yeah, it was an absolute nightmare. And we only had the clock was ticking, and he was like, "Well, if we come in, that would be fine. That take would be fine. Let's go in the pub now." I've got a thing which I filmed of us just rehearsing, just an empty pint glass. You can just see he's just thinking, Barbie closing.
Yeah, I'm acting faster because I've got
absolute nightmare to work with. And now you're marginally better.
Isn't that weird?
Strange. It's good. You've learned so much.
Yeah. People say, "Oh, well, fame changer."
You were always obnoxious.
Yeah. Hour and a half. I'm at 2:45. After the little pre-pilot that we shot ourselves, our little demo pilot, the BBC commissioned the script, and then a real pilot, if you like.
And the script seemed quite good, and I went along and originally read for Gareth, and then I think I was sort of on my way out the door pretty much actually, and then I read for Tim. I was imagining him a lot more like Norm from Cheers. I think he was going to be quite fat, wasn't he? And,
yeah.
That kind of wisecracking in that way.
And 3 callbacks, I think, for the part. But I mean, they don't let you know that it's a close thing. You might not get it.
Some of the people we ended up with were not as we'd imagined them originally. I mean, I remember when Mackenzie came in as Gareth. It took some persuasion. I wasn't convinced at all.
I didn't realise Stephen didn't think I was the right man for the job.
I'd imagine he was much bigger and much more kind of militaristic.
Obviously, the skinny, weedy guy won through in the end. But I can play Butch.
What was exciting about Mackenzie is that because he's got this, he looks very fragile and vulnerable, not like that we first imagined. We found that we could give him more and more ridiculous and horrendous lines, and you still didn't mind because of his, little bird-type face. I don't mean like a woman. I mean like a little baby bird, like a little fledgling pigeon who just hatched too early. And there's a sort of sweetness and vulnerability about Mackenzie. Vulnerability?
Ah, yes. Language is your tool.
Ah, we can
put a subtitle.
Vulnerability about Mackenzie, and that was nice.
I don't give shitty jobs. When a good man comes to me and says, "Thank you, David, for the opportunity and the continued..."
The official BBC pilot that we made is pretty much the same in terms of its plot as episode 1 of the real series. There was some strands we cut out. There was a whole sequence where Dawn tells Tim a joke, which is that one, did you see that film last night, Gaylord Say No?
No.
That means you're a Gaylord. You see? It's classic school playground joke.
Oh, yeah.
You just got it?
Yeah.
And so she tells him that, and then they sort of play that joke on the cleaning lady.
And say back to me.
Did you see the film from Gays?
No. Did you see that film last night? Gaylords Say No. You get it?
Yeah. Guys, did you see a film last night, Gaylords?
What? She was wondering if you saw that film last night, Gaylords Say No?
No.
That means you're a Gaylord.
Not a Gaylord. What's a Gaylord?
And then there was a whole different sequence about how Gareth finds out that there's going to be redundancies at William Hogg, and he's really upset that he's the last person to discover this information.
The old shares. Ooh, oil.
Somebody got their fingers burned.
David, hi. Listen, I need to know if there's anything that you've heard, any rumours that you've heard from the head office.
Anything that
you got stuff on your face.
That's probably got on the phone.
Just making it worse.
Have you got a tissue? Sorry.
No.
Have you got a tissue? What's that?
That's not mine. It's the first one I picked up.
2 months.
Yeah, mine are twice as big as that.
I've got a nice.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Well, you do it then.
I've got a mirror. Dawn! What now?
They're all talking out there. There's
Right, okay.
rumours going.
Slow down. Who's talking?
Everyone's talking because.
Thank you so much.
No, what is that?
That's it.
It's my mum's. Mine twice as big.
That place.
I'm team leader. I should know. I'd be the first one after you to know.
Yeah, right. You're the first one after me to know. Okay. What's that? Don't put your. I'm meant to spit on it, so it's my spit on my face. I don't mind now. Don't bother.
I feel I've got a responsibility to the staff to know what's going on.
Say what you mean.
Jennifer came in here this morning.
Right.
As soon as she got in, now there's all rumours going. Dawn, actually, this is a private meeting. Could you?
Isn't this about us losing our
Joan,
jobs?
this is a private meeting.
Yes, Mr. Benton.
I don't think that I'm being so. Frankly, I'm a little bit insulted that if there's.
Why are you losing jobs?
Can you give us 2 minutes?
Sit down.
I thought it was supposed to be a private meeting. It's just. Okay. As team leader, this is pathetic. Right, I called this meeting. Thanks for coming. I called this meeting because.
Sit down. Right. All it is the powers that be have deemed
Right, so now your turn.
Oh yeah, you don't know what's going on.
That's my meeting. I called it.
To find out what's going on, so I'm going to tell you.
In front of everyone else. Cool.
When we look back at the pilot, it just felt a bit too much like it had become a sitcom with a beginning, middle, and an end.
Yeah.
If you watch a real documentary, they've pieced together that from stuff that happened in real life. So we wanted to get that sense like we cobbled it together. And
I was genuinely panicked, wasn't I? 'Cause I thought it was the sitcom that we always said we wouldn't make, and we just really G'd ourselves up. So going back to basics, we really wanted.
I gotta run down and get another soda.
Something new, or we hoped we were, and we didn't want anything that.
But I remember you described it as better than Dickens.
Didn't you?
Yeah. It is. And that's Shakespeare.
Gaylord.
What's up? Hey, what's up? Why I think some of it looked quite real is because obviously I'm not an actor and I don't care about hitting my marks or where I should stand. And Steve would go, well, can you at least just, you know, speak up a little bit?
Face the right direction.
Not really. Not really, no, I'll just do it this way.
Well, you do think that everything you've guessed is probably the truth.
Yeah.
So if you guess it's something, you assume that's actually how it's done.
I'm not a trained actor.
This is amazing to find out. He's not.
No, or a trained director.
He's got nothing.
No.
His CV is empty.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't got a CV. Never needed one.
Yeah. He'll be on a single of him or a talking head, and he'll be more worried about the lighting. Learn the lines. You wrote them. Okay.
I think the difference between our show maybe and other sitcoms which are set in office is that there always seem to be too full of incident. It's like there's people kind of doing one-liners and being zany and falling over and doing crazy stuff and getting into amusing scripts, which is not what the experience of being in an office is like at all. It is just that kind of monotony, often if it's a job you don't enjoy, which is occasionally interspersed with, someone, making a joke or something. So we wanted lots of sort of sequences when, between the jokes, if you like, of just people working. And there's something lovely and kind of empty and boring and static about just someone sat typing at a computer.
I mean, I know sort of drama or whatever is live with the boring bits taken out, but we left some of them in because they can be the funniest bits. And so, we didn't top and tail scenes so cleanly. We liked the dwelling on, a bad joke or, a nothingness.
Yeah, what's funny about a bad joke is the agony of that silence after a joke has gone flat.
Have you heard Michael Jackson's new song he's doing? He's teamed up with West Ham football team. Right? Yeah. Doing On Forever Blowing Bubbles. The frustrating thing as a writer is that you had to get around this camera being there because we couldn't have exposition, we couldn't have people doing things they wouldn't do in front of a camera. It was a bind, but what we could use is the advantage of that is that it would up the agony, and that's where that came from. That was the joke there.
What you find as well, especially with the romantic plot, is it's like because the camera's filming them, they can't show their emotions for each other, they can't show their true feelings, Tim and Dawn. So it means that it's almost like you've sort of some kind of Victorian seething kind of melodrama where, suddenly just him touching her or her touching him, that's as much as a kiss, it means as much,
And the kiss becomes a shag.
So it becomes a kind of, you get that nice kind of electricity between them.
So,
Oh, can I have this when you finish?
Yeah, you can have it.
When will you be finished together?
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe we could share it.
I know that Ricky and Steve worked hard to get that right because it could have fallen on its face, it could have been embarrassing and just simply not worked.
The first time I really got Tim and Dawn was after I saw the last episode on the reruns the other week, and I for the first time I thought, I know why people have got really upset about that. And my mum rang me about 2 minutes later in tears.
It's not just a farcical comedy, but there's poignant bits in it that people do care about. That when Gareth thinks that David Brent might be leaving, and he goes in and breaks down. Oh, that's it then, is it? The old team or the scrap heap. Poor old Gareth. I am fond of Gareth. He's a wally. But yeah, I'm fond of him. Oh, this is stupid.
Yeah, this is stupid. It's so... Sorry, mate, what do you want?
Laurel and Hardy was a constant reference point, which sort of came out in a little bit in Tim's looks to camera. I mean, not that they're completely Ollie-esque. I mean, I never went, I was working last night actually on something, and I actually couldn't stop doing it. I think it might ruin my career. So by the time you people are seeing this, you really won't be seeing me again. Because everything I do now, I can't stop going like that. Which is a problem for any actor.
The other people in the office at the desk, which weren't particularly main characters, but rather than extras or supporting artists, they were all proper actors.
Hello, you're through to Keith.
Ewan, who plays Big Keith, was just a real treat because he just came in and he was just sort of sat there typing away. Then you give him a few lines and you realise he's got this whole kind of character that he's created, just this kind of deadpan, you know. I mean, I don't know if that's what he's really like.
Well, we still don't know whether that was his best naturalistic acting, and we just found it funny and he thought, well, I'll keep quiet, or whether he knew exactly what he was doing. I'd like to think he knew how funny it was, because it's great.
Well, he's watching this. He won't mind me saying he's an oddity, man. He's a freak. I mean, I'm just saying, he's like, if it was 100 years ago, he wouldn't be in telly, let's say. I mean, not only because it hadn't been invented yet.
One of my favourite scenes is where, in episode 5, where he's just talking to Tim and they're in the smoker's room and it's a really tight shot and he eats a Scotch egg at the end. And it's a joyful scene and it's, you know, his performance of that was impeccable.
What did you watch on telly last night?
I didn't watch telly, I watched the video.
I watched that Peak Practice.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Bloody repeat.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Not for me, I haven't seen it. Boring, isn't it? Just staying in watching Peak Practice with your life?
Yeah.
Not for me. I like it.
Yeah, I just stayed in, had a big wink. Yeah, that scene was, it was very hard.
Because Ewan's so consistent, the arm kept coming up on exactly the same point every time to eat the Scotch egg. And Martin could see that in his peripheral vision. And once you think of something's funny, that's it, you're done.
After about 5 takes, and I looked through and like Ash and Anna and, you know, and Ricky and Steve were all sort of like going, come on. And I thought, God, I really might not be able to do it. You know, I thought I might not actually manage this.
Boring, isn't it? Just staying in watching Peak Practice with your life?
Yeah.
Not for me, I like it.
Yeah, I just stayed.
That was so good. That was so good.
Boring, isn't it? Just staying in watching Peak Practice with your life?
Yeah, it is.
Not for me, I like it.
Yeah, I just stayed in at a big...
Not for me, I like it.
I just...
Boring, isn't it? Just staying in watching Peak Practice with your life?
Yeah.
Not for me, I like it.
Well, I just stayed in at a big wink.
Boring, isn't it? Just sitting in, watching Peak Practice with your life?
Yeah.
Not for me, I like it.
Ricky likes to remind me that it did take 13 takes. I would like to remind him that just kind of maybe walking down a corridor for him took about 40. You know what I mean?
I knew he was going to go because he would suddenly go, and his face to just do that.
What's the difference?
A dwarf is someone who has disproportionately short arms and legs.
I'm so sorry. We've been saying that word now for an hour, and suddenly it was funny.
I couldn't take it. And suddenly the word midget was remarkably funny.
Right, here we go. What's the difference?
A dwarf is someone who has disproportionately short arms and legs.
I don't know what I'm going to do. What's the difference?
A dwarf is someone who has disproportionately short arms and legs.
God almighty, I'm so sorry. God, okay, 1 minute.
Sorry, Joe.
What's the difference?
A dwarf is someone who has disproportionately short arms and legs.
I've no idea how I'm going to do this. Wait a minute. What's the difference?
A dwarf is someone
Fucking hell!
You actually feel that you're never going to be able to do it. You think, well, if I never do this, what happens? Do we run over by a year? What would happen if I could never get this scene? And it panics you.
And yeah, and TV's Ricky Gervais is... He's not autistic, but he's kind of... He's like a sort of... Not even like a girl, that's an insult as well, but... what's the PC word for giggling buffoon?
Seeing her, Dawn is eating her lunch. She's just eating a sandwich and she's really
minding her own business and she's on her own, and David comes up.
I had a bit of a scare earlier.
Did you?
Yeah. I thought I found a lump. I examine myself regularly. I looked it out, it's fine, but terrifying. Testicular cancer. Cancer of them old testicles. What's that?
Oh, that was a great one.
We're doing it again.
Please.
We're doing it again.
Damn.
What made you go?
Nobody whatsoever moved.
No, it was my fault. No, it wasn't. It was no one's fault. It was mine.
And he can barely get through a take without being so impressed by his writing genius that he has to ruin it with laughing, you know. Doesn't even have the sort of humility not to laugh and say, oh, what I wrote isn't actually maybe that funny. It's like, no, I am a genius. I'll ruin the take. Oh, again, yeah. You know.
No, he's not based on any one person. He's sort of a Frankenstein of all those types, those bosses from How. I mean, the whole programme is basically nailing types and observations. It's very much a, ticking off office observations. And David is one of those. I mean, the most important one of them, sure, but just one of the main one. People have said to us, like with David Brent being bad at his job and rubbish and he should be fired. If you just walk around the BBC for a day, you see people who are, people who are rubbish keep their jobs.
In very important jobs as well.
I mean,
we're talking about executives.
The only analogy I can use evolutionary-wise is marsupials survived in Australia because there were no predators. And that's very much like the BBC, because no one from the outside is coming and going, what are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing? How long have you been here?
If they took a John Harvey Jones in there, it would be decimated.
There'd just be me and Steve.
Yeah, just be the two of us doing a lot, plate spinning.
Why isn't variety still as big?
I bloody love variety, Rick, and I wish it would come back. You don't see enough of the song and dance men. That's what we want back.
Do people go into plate spinning, or is it like handed down? Like,
No.
son, I've broken a couple, but these are yours. I'm gonna be a doctor. And you go, all right.
It's not as popular as it was, plate spinning.
I don't think they are that unsympathetic. I think, Brent, you should sort of feel sorry for it.
And Gareth he's a right waddy, but, he's all right, really. He's harmless.
The only person that you could, in real life, not like is probably Chris Finch, because he's a bully. And he's one of those people that when he walks in the room, he does say funny things, and you laugh, and then you go, it's my turn soon.
And someone asked me like, "Oh, Brent's such a bastard," but he's not. He's a tit. He's a twerp. He's a knob.
He's all those things. He's a twerty tit knob.
Exactly.
That's a twerty tit knob.
Yeah.
I like bosses like that because you get away with murder. All you have to do is laugh at their jokes. Invite them to 1 in 5 drinks, and that's it. He's your mate, and it's like teachers at school. You soon learn that you can go, Mr. Morris, what bike have you got? And you go, well, it's a Harley Davidson, and yeah, we got through the lesson. That's it. He talks about his bike, and it's just getting on the good side of these people because they're not nasty, they're not malicious, and very often they want a mate. I mean, I don't think they want to jump on you and impregnate her.
Yeah. Is that some story you've got to tell?
Wow. I was always told when doing English O level, write about what you know, and it's so true. It's so much easier.
Yeah, that's why you want our next project to be you as a man locked in a futuristic prison.
Well, yeah, I've been. It's called brain jail, and it's only your own conscience that keeps you there, because I imagine that's what it'd be like. I'm working out as well. I'm going to be I don't want to use the same body I used for Brent, because...
But it's very flabby and doesn't look so good in a vest.
He is, isn't he? He's a flabby bloke, Brent, but this one won't be.
Well, not just flabby, fat. I mean, downright fat.
Yeah.
A bit of a bloater.
Whereas Scott Carson... crime he didn't commit. He was probably saving some people from a burning building. But he's just probably broken up a rubbish law in the future. You can't have your own thoughts. Download.
Brain jail.
Yeah, I think I downloaded my own feelings from my computer.
Yeah, but I just wish you could get back your dead wife's memories and bring her back to life cryogenically.
Yeah, but the evil bloke in charge of it wasn't even voted in. He killed people to get there.
Oh, not that dictator.
Yeah, he's got it on a floppy disk.
Zordon.
Except it's not even a floppy disk by then. It's just a floppy dot. It's like a little dot, isn't it? That floats. Look.
It's as good as written.
It's as good as Dickens.
Loser.
There wasn't much improvised in the making of it. Most of it's there on the script for us to, for us to see.
As a tribute to the writing, it's writing that sounds improvised, you know.
The script comes out of improvisation anyway, so as we're writing, we're sort of doing it, so we're very careful about the dialogue and the realism of that. So it seems more improvised than it is.
But again, within that, there would be times that Ricky or Steve would come up to a couple of us, or various one of us, and say, we need a quick, we need a scene quickly about this or something, and we need one to get us, a bridge to get us from that scene into this one.
One of the times we had to do flirting, improvising, I thought, because I love my hair being played with, anyone will do really, and so I thought, oh, I'll incorporate that, because you can't say no, we're on camera. And so basically he just had to play with my hair, which was really nice. Oh, hello.
So I touched your head.
Carry on with my hair. And I'm going to do that a lot more in the next series. I might have a massage or something. I never thought of that. Great.
Everyone knew the characters so well that it was just easy to come up with those little bits of ad-lib, like at the end of episode 2 where David's on the phone, apparently he's speaking to Chris Finch and firing him, and Jennifer presses the button and it's in fact a speaking clock.
Pathetic.
Is it?
I checked my watch. I just thought that's the Gareth thing to do. Just checks his watch just to see that it is the right time.
Just filming what's funny, just filming the comedy is all that you need to do. You don't need to get clever and tricksy and stuff. Just filming Ricky Gervais's fat, funny face is bloody hilarious.
All right,
Well, don't have a go at me.
Yeah, you're goggle-eyed freak, so
That's not fair because
yeah.
I'm not even on.
And also,
on
when you say fat face, this is a condition, so...
What condition?
Greed.
Right.
So before you insult someone, find out what it may be medically cheese.
Right.
Suffering from cheddar.
Yes, okay.
Oh no.
Well, yesterday, in fact, on Tube, somebody said to me, "Alright, Gareth, where's Ricky?" I'm like, well, what's that about? Why do I get called Gareth and then he gets called by his real name? And I don't know where he is, but he's certainly not going to be on the Tube because he doesn't travel on the Tube anymore.
When I first started filming the pilot episode, Ash, our producer, had said to me, because he knew that my dad was Jasper Carrot, and he said to me, "Oh, when did you change your name to Davis?" And I said, "At what point did you think Davis was the made-up name?"
People have been asking for autographs, and I don't, they want me to write something funny, so I found myself writing "I Could Catch a Monkey." Love Mackenzie. Great. That would be worth something.
A lot of people who sort of look at these extra sort of footage in DVDs are nerds.
Yeah, geeks.
And
sure.
Geeks and
Losers.
Yeah, probably watching this on a sunny day.
Yeah. Curtains drawn.
Yeah, spotty fat git. So what we do for them is give them some sort of real behind the scenes nuggets. Interesting stuff, not to us.
No,
but to them.
To them, interesting.
Yeah.
What's interesting?
The
the guy that comes through the door in episode 6 and kind of just stares and looks at the camera, and then who also appears later in the party. He's my father, my real father. And his name is Ron, and my mum's name is Elaine, and that's the name of Donna's parents.
Daughter of my best friends, Ron and Elaine.
Oh, the guy that Ricky's interviewing at the beginning of episode 1 is the guy he's firing at the end in episode 6.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
As you picked upon it, Gareth, well, that's not his real name. His real name is Mackenzie Crook, and he's just an actor.
Yeah.
So, and you know that beginning at the beginning where I meet Ricky, and I pretend I haven't met him before. I have. I cast him as Oliver Chris. He's an actor. He's been in other stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of an illusion, isn't it?
See, yeah. See, and you know, because you get a bit confused because the office obviously is not a real office.
What's happened to it? Bankrupt. So you know what
it's
to pay for it. Go on.
It's just it's fake, isn't it? It's just a make believe. It's like a set.
What do they sell?
Who?
Not paper.
Who?
All the people that work there.
They don't work there. They're actors.
Oh, temping. Acting's a hard business. 90% of the time they'll probably be working.
Can we switch off because I need
a Scotch egg.
Need a Scotch egg and needs to lie down. Can we get Ricky Gervais's hammock?
I love a hammock.
All right, so that's the documentary. Let's find the deleted scenes. I don't know. I normally don't watch these, but we got the sound in the background. I'm probably gonna end in just a bit. I just want to see what deleted scenes there are. Brent the Peacemaker. Thoughts on music. Gareth reprimands Brent and Finch. Gareth on the Pole. Slough by John Benjamin. Gareth's anxiety. Oh wow, they don't show the scene. It's the writing. I'm not going to read it. Okay.
I don't feel certain that my job is safe, and I feel discarded. I mean, I understand that you have to throw away the dead wood or the rotten apple to save the barrel. It's like if you find a lump on your testicle, then you got to lose it for the greater good and live on without it. So I've always thought of myself as a healthy testicle.
Okay. So let's go with Slough by John Benjamin. Bits of which feature in episode 5.
What's the single most important thing to your business? That's right, the customer. These are your profits for this year. And this is what you're doing to those profits if you underestimate the value of customer care. Statistics show that if you're treated well as a customer, you'll tell 5 people. If you're treated badly, you'll tell 9. Let's watch as your profits go up in smoke. Here's a typical office.
Yeah? Yeah. Awful, isn't it? Oh, yeah? Oh, really? And you know, I said to him...
Excuse me, I am in a hurry.
I'm on the phone. God, some people rude. And I must tell you about George. It all started about a year ago. And I saw him at this bar, and we just kind of...
Well done. That customer won't be bothering you again. ever. Let's see what should have happened.
Yeah? Yeah. Awful, isn't it? Oh, yeah? Oh, really? You know, and I said to him, oh, I'm sorry, so I'll be with you in 1 moment. Sorry, Jean, I'm going to have to go. I've a customer. I'll call you back at a more convenient time. I must tell you about George later on. Yes, sir. How can I help?
Can you get me some prices on self-drive family holidays in Provence, please?
Certainly. And when will you be travelling?
All she had to do was acknowledge the customer's presence and end her personal call as quickly as possible. Simple.
Here are a ticket, sir. I do wish I was coming with you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And don't forget.
Yes?
Send me a postcard.
So, your prescription will be ready on Friday, madam.
Fine. See you Tuesday.
So if you put together a crack team, don't let your business get taken hostage by complacency. Make your motto, who cares, wins.
Hey, I know you. Can I have your autograph?
Oh, of course you can.
Thank you, Mr. Noakes.
Okay, so the two actors that did the agency, there's Richard Hollis, I think he's the man with the red glasses, and Lucy O'Connell is the travel agent. And the narrator goes by Peter Purves, or Peter Purvis, I don't know, it's Purves. Written by Colin Fry and David Pickering. That's obviously not part of The Office, but it must have been in The Office somewhere. Colin Fry directed and produced. Okay, so that may be it. Associate producer is Ash Atala. Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant were talking about Ash as the producer or the director or something. Alright, so that was kind of interesting. Alright, Gareth on the pole. Oh, that might be the rifle shot. The mimicking a rifle shot. That light erroring there adds a bit of darkness to some of these deleted scenes. You know, it's like the light doesn't work. Sometimes you think something is erratic with the electricity. You know. A lot of the movies in the late 90s talked about electricity erroring, which had previously been, you know, in the early 80s or the 70s. Okay. Let's go to Gareth reprimands Brent and Finch.
I've called you out here.
No.
Are you both on you a chance to confess.
Do what?
You've been cheating.
No.
Alright, did you or did you not make a phone call to get help with the question?
No. No, they called me, and it was the doctor at my dad's nursing home. Thank you.
Alright.
Yeah, remember the Japanese sniper?
Back.
Oh, Dad's delusional, isn't he? So, you know, he thinks one of the nurses is a Russian spy now. But anyway.
Right. Russians are crafty. They'll often pose as someone you trust, like the nurse, or a doctor, or a farmer.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust a nurse if I was at the screw. It's still on my innit? East side.
Oi. What would you do though? It's not even your birthday name.
I have to make these checks for security purposes. If that means asking the boss a difficult question, so be it. I'm not afraid to trip our eagles there. Alright, and that's why I was made security officer. I don't want any legal security in a quiz situation.
Okay, round 4 is called the Great Apes. Take these answers down. Orangutan, gibbon, Dr. Zayas, chimpanzee, Charlton Heston, bananas. It was Earth all along.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry about that, everyone. Official quiz business, I'm afraid. Okay, round 4 is Great Apes. It's all about apes. So question 1. In the film Every Which Way But Loose.
Okay. Thoughts on music?
It's good. And now people are going, you know, what are you doing here? You're better than most stuff in the charts. Yeah. And if there's a record company watching, they're going, yeah, let's sign him up. You're like, whoa, okay. I'll just say this. If having a hit record was just about talent, discipline, yeah, then you'd have a number 1 in your hands with me. But it ain't, you know, which is why I decided to stick to selling paper and not records. No bullshit, yeah? You know, I don't play head games with anyone. I mean, if there is a record company watching, then, I mean, we can have, you know, I'm flexible, we can, let's have a go, let's shift some bloody units, Christ's sake, if that's what you want. Just get off my back about it. No, on Design Discs, you can take 7 albums.
Yeah, I know. And you have to take Shakespeare and the Bible, which is a waste of time, but that's the law. So
Yeah, but you can take one book of your choice and a luxury item.
Yeah, so I've heard people in there saying their luxury item would be like a year's supply of chocolate or a grand piano or something. I mean, I think they're missing the point. You know? I choose Swiss Army knife. So I wouldn't need to because it's got one on me anyway.
Yeah, what albums would you take?
I'd have one. You come in here.
No.
I'd have one which is like just animal noises, so I can identify the animals, birds and stuff. One with just predators, like to frighten away the wolves.
Yeah.
One spoken
Jackals.
word. Yeah. Well, yeah, depending on where I am. One spoken word, one just talking about health stuff. You know, what plants.
Oh yeah, what lumps are growing where.
And snake
I'm
bites.
just sucking up the poultice. Make
Check a little pill, Lance Morissette.
bloody loud in there.
Something about the tides. How many is that?
5.
All right. Brent the Peacemaker.
Okay? People have said they heard you arguing, and I've said, look, there's going to be friction at work. Okay, it's a high pressure job. They're good guys, but let's agree today to disagree. Let's sign something and go and get on with it because life's too short. Okay? Speak freely. You, Shu. What annoys you about Gareth?
The fact that I respect workplaces first.
Don't know, he asked me, okay, that's one thing that annoys me about him. He's Amy retentive, he's smug, he thinks he's a soldier, he is obsessed with the idea of surviving in a post-Holocaust world.
I'm not obsessed
Yeah,
with
you are
anything.
obsessed because you're always going on about it.
Just because I know how to survive in a situation like that, where will you be? I'll be laughing, I'll be me and the cockroaches.
You and the cockroach, fine. You are a cockroach, so you'll enjoy that. He thinks the sun
More like
shines
you're a
out.
cockroach.
More like see, mate, it's a waste of time. I can't.
No waste of time. Keep it going.
Right, he thinks the sun shines out of your backside.
Now you're going to sign these. You're on your honour. Alright?
I do.
Tim's first. I, the undersigned, agree to stop 1. Putting Gareth's personal possessions into jelly or any gelatin-based pudding product. 2. Ask before I borrow something from or move something onto or away from his desk. Sign that. Gareth. I, the undersigned, agree to 1. Be reasonable when someone asks to borrow something. 2. Stop telling Tim how I'd catch and skin a rabbit if I was blinded. 3. To stop discussing how to get into the mindset of a wolf. Gareth.
Dead.
Bro.
No.
Take it?
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I'm joking again. Innit?
Alright, so those are the deleted scenes. And I'm going to end there. I hope you're doing good. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.